These are everyday griddle chicken recipes for everyday people. It's nothing viral. I'm not going to tell you they changed my life. It's just food my family likes, and hopefully your family will too. Starting with pineapple teriyaki chicken stir fry using the Panda Express teriyaki that I found at my Kroger. Get the griddle to 375 to 400 degrees, spritz a little oil, and put down 1.5 pounds of chicken breast that I just cubed up and seasoned with an all-purpose salt, pepper, garlic powder seasoning. Next to that, I have a red, yellow, and green pepper that I sliced thin, and a white onion that I did like a heavy chop on. I don't know, I'm not a chef, just some weirdo who films himself cooking in his backyard. It's whatever, that's a chop. Chop the onion up. I added the same salt, pepper, and garlic powder seasoning to the veggies. Then I'll add the potato chip of the stir fry world, water chestnuts. Oh my gosh, I love these things so much. And way up in the corner is 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks, extra chunky. You're probably wondering, Johnny, why do you have that foil pan on the griddle? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's where I'm going to put everything to transport it back inside when I'm done. I'm also going to put my sauce in there to warm up and keep the sauce in the pan rather on the griddle, which should hopefully make for an easier cleanup. That's a 3/4 cup of the Panda Express teriyaki sauce. The recipe in the description, I'm changing it to 1 cup, just FYI, because I wanted a little more. I then poured in 1/4 cup of this pineapple juice from the can. Again, it ended up a little thinner than I wanted, which is why I changed it, but also it's not terrible. I don't mind it that way, and you can add more sauce at the end, or just don't put the pineapple juice in if you want. So this pan made cleanup easier, but it did sacrifice some flavor. I'll go over that more later. It's been 3.5 minutes and we got a little color on the chicken. That's great. I'll flip them all individually to make sure they cook evenly. That's a good looking griddle, but the teriyaki is bubbling, so I'm going to turn that outside burner off. I'll use that as a warming zone to keep the foil pan over there and keep stuff hot. Temp the chicken with my thermometer, and the little pieces are done. I was looking for 165, so I'll move the little ones into the pan with the sauce. I'm just kind of using my judgment, anything that's thin or little here. I'll flip over the water chestnuts. Ooh, I like where we're going with these things. And this is just waiting another minute for the big pieces. So, okay, it's been a minute. Now let's check out this thick boy, big piece of chicken. And it's getting the 165 good. So I'll just put them all in the little pan. It's okay if some of them are a little low. They'll keep cooking and they'll raise in temperature. Got some oil going down right where the chicken was cooking. Then 1 clove of garlic minced. And here's an 8-ounce package of sliced baby Bella mushrooms. Brought the pineapple over as well. We're trying to use the juices to kind of get up those chicken drippings and mix everybody together. Now it's a party on the griddle. I just really want to get everything in that chicken and mix together and all the flavors. So I cooked it all for about 4 more minutes or until it got to the doneness that I liked. As long as you follow the cooking order of chicken, veggies, pineapple, then mushrooms, you should be fine. If you put the mushrooms down too early, they will get soggy on you. Now that everything is in the pan, I'm left with a very easy cleanup because the sauce isn't all over the griddle. And after I toss it, I can just put the whole pan on my cookie sheet and carry it inside. Worked out really well. However, I do think the teriyaki on the chicken or veggies cooking on the griddle gives it a little more flavor and maybe like kind of cooks those sugars in there and gives you a little more color. So mess around with whatever you'd like. Both ways work. Just figure out what's right for you. I got a new cutting board, which is super cool. It sits on the side of the griddle, but it's a little obnoxious that I put my website on there real big. In case you guys didn't know, I have a website all about griddling and griddle recipes. It's only about griddling. There's nothing else on there. Okay, that's my plug. White rice I made in a white bowl. Oh my Lord, that is a blue bowl. Wow, I'm moving on up in the world. White plates, blue bowls, look at me go. Add my stir fry and green onions. Again, this might be thinner, but you can always add more teriyaki sauce, which I like to go that route because some people think it's really salty, and so I'd rather let them add more than have it be too salty at the beginning. Now, when my kid asks for takeout, I can say, we can't afford that. We got Panda Express at home. Smothered chicken. I had 4 breasts that I pounded out with a mallet. Next time, I'm going to just cut them all away. I ended up with a thicker side that I had to babysit for a little bit. You'll see more later. A simple seasoning of salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. 1 white onion sliced up, and a whole block of Colby Jack cheese I shredded myself. This melts better usually. Have you ever shredded with the box grater on the side before? Some viewer told me about this, and it like just blew my mind, changed my life. My whole cheese world is turned upside down. And I got bacon and brown sugar going out to the griddle as well. It's hard to mess up a recipe that has bacon, cheese, and brown sugar in it. Again, same temp, 375 to 400. We're going to cook the bacon first to get a nice layer of bacon fat on the griddle and make the neighbors jealous. Then I'll put the breast down, skin side down, right in the leftover bacon fat. No need for oil. We got plenty of that bacony goodness still on the griddle. The breast took about 7 minutes per side. Another good reason to cut them in half is so that next time they'll cook faster. It won't take about 15 minutes, 15 minutes total. Keep on flipping the bacon and moving any pieces that look done towards the front of the griddle. Give it a scrape, but leave a little bit of that grease again for the onions. Then add my wire rack to take any bacon off the griddle. When it's finished, I love the wire rack. It's not too big, not too small. Helps me get stuff off the griddle but stay warm. Let's flip these breasts, and those are looking pretty nice, Clark. Lots of steam because it was the middle of winter. 3 to 4 minutes after cooking the onions, I added the sugar. Now, our onions are coated in bacon grease and sugar, so you're just living the griddle high life at this point. Move the onions over to the side, turn off that burner, and let's temp the chicken. So the thick section's only at 130, while the rest of the breast was finished and higher, which is why I'll be cutting them in half next time. I had to shingle my chicken so that the thick side was still touching the griddle and would finish cooking up to 165, but without hopefully drying out the thinner part of the chicken, which was already done. Once at temp, I topped them with onions, bacon, then cheese. The cheese didn't really melt because it was winter time, but also next time I think I will put the cheese on first, then bacon, then onions, and it'll probably melt better. This is fantastic. It's a must try on your griddle. I got some chicken tenders with fries and zucchini. What I did for these tenders was I dredged them in half a cup of cornstarch with all my seasonings. The full recipe is on your screen, but you could use cornstarch and just 1.5 tablespoons of your favorite chicken seasoning, like Montreal chicken seasoning, or you can use all these ones that I mixed in myself. I did make a hot mess with the cornstarch. I used a fork and a paper towel to remove the tendons, and these tenderloins, I just saw this trick, and it was my first time doing it, but it worked out real well. You slide the fork in, grab that part with the paper towel, and rip it out. I'm going to shallow fry these and get kind of a light breading on them. It's a brand new cooking method where you coat the meat in a bag of seasoning, then cook it. No one has actually ever thought of this before. It's just me. It's a new Johnny thing. I call it shake it. I call it bread it and spread it. Yep, bread it and spread it. Brand new, guys. Cut up 1 zucchini into half moons, and then I added salt, pepper, butter, and garlic. That is garlic from a jar because I was being lazy. Then we'll turn the griddle on and throw down our French fries. These Ore-Ida fries, I will spread them thin, and they're shoestring. Someone posted on Reddit that they don't even use oil when they use frozen fries, so I didn't either, and it worked fine. I was surprised. Normally I used oil. I put down a 1/4 cup oil, however, for the chicken for the shallow fry, but I should have done more, so the recipe will reflect that. It will say 1/2 cup of peanut oil. I've moved my griddle so it would all pull towards that one corner away from the grease trap. This is how I'm going to do a shallow fry. Now, this is my second time doing shoestring fries, and they are fine. They're definitely not like frying them. Nothing's that good. Probably not quite as good as an air fryer or the oven, just being completely honest. But if you're going to be out there already and you want to do them, it's possible to do them. It just depends if you want to babysit them and keep flipping them and spreading them out the whole time, because that's what you have to do. Check the temp of the oil in that area of the griddle. We're starting to get around 375 to 400. And now I'll put down my tenders. I'm going to try to get as much oil on each one as I can, but again, I didn't put enough down, so you'll see me adding a little more peanut oil. These tenders did about 7 to 8 minutes on the first side before I flipped them. We got a really nice color. I was very happy with the cornstarch. Bread it and spread it, fellas. I'll turn the outside burner by the fries off to keep them warm but not keep cooking them. Once all the tenders are looking good, we will temp them. Again, shoot for 165. Okay, 180. Well, chicken's definitely done. Turn that burner off as well. Make room for the zucchini in the middle. Again, the zucchini has the butter and the seasoning with it already, but I added a little more seasoning because it didn't look like enough. This cooks up really quick, so make sure you do it last. I just toss it around for 3 to 4 minutes until the butter melts. And we'll plate everything up on my fancy white plate. There you go. We got ourselves chicken tenders, french fry, zucchini dinner, something even my 4-year-old son will actually eat off the griddle. That's not a pancake. I feel like that's what he wants every time I turn the griddle on. So it turned out great. I'd highly recommend it. Even the reheated leftover chicken tenders I put in the air fryer the next day, and that worked out very well too. Definitely give this a try. I've done these in another video before, but it's so simple and it fits with the theme, so I'm going to do a quick overview. Similar start to the pineapple teriyaki, 400 degrees with cut up chicken breast. This is marinated in Greek dressing. I like Ken's. Newman's Own is another brand, but use whatever Greek dressing you can find. I didn't mention this with the teriyaki, but I tried to make sure the cube chicken isn't touching or piled up on the griddle. This will help it all get a good sear. These also did 4 to 5 minutes per side. Move the chicken over to the corner, wipe your griddle down or scrape it down, more oil. Then I toast these pitas. They are con toast. I get them at Meijer. I really like these pitas, okay? And warming or toasting them is a must. It's so easy on your griddle. It's why this is a great recipe, because you can utilize the whole space of the griddle to do the chicken and to warm up these pitas. It makes them fold up easier. It makes them taste so much better. Please don't serve these gyros on cold pitas. Please toast them up. Let's assemble foil, pita, lettuce, tomato, red/purple onion, feta. I made a homemade ziti, which is on the site with this recipe, but also you can just buy a ziti from the deli section and make this a super simple weeknight meal. Put it on my white plate with some sun chips because I am classy like that. Simple balsamic chicken and veggie stir fry. There's no starch in this recipe, and it's about as close as I've ever came on this channel to making something healthy. Put down some oil and my cut up chicken tenders. A lot of tenders in this video. I bet you'll never guess what was on sale at my local grocery store these past 2 weeks. Again, check it with the 2-in-1 thermometer from ThermoPro, same temperature. These have some oil and the Montreal chicken seasoning on them already. Use whatever seasoning you like. If you have a preferred chicken seasoning, I do like the Montreal. I'd recommend it if you never tried it, and it's pretty readily available at most stores. You could also have used the Montreal chicken season earlier on the bread it and spread it. Again, make sure you spread the chicken out so it's not touching. Then comes some corn in a can. Trying to keep it simple, that's why it's canned. It's kind of blasphemy using canned corn in Ohio. I could have just walked to the field across the street from my house and grabbed an ear. But, I want to keep it realistic. Not everybody's in the corn mecca of the Midwest like I am. Here comes the second set of vegetables. 1 orange pepper, 1 purple onion sliced. I know it's called a red onion, but even my 4-year-old knows that's purple. Let's stop living this lie. It's important to follow the veggies in this order because, again, we want to put down what takes the longest first. Hit those up with an all-purpose salt, pepper, garlic seasoning. Now let's look at the chicken. Ooh, got a nice color. These are some small cubes, so they shouldn't take too long. Also, feel free to use breast or thighs with this instead of tenders. Some of my chicken stuck. Probably could have used some more oil. That's okay. We'll get it up. Give our corn and peppers and onions a nice mix. Then finish getting all that chicken flipped, even those stubborn pieces. Come on now. Now, magically, 1 pint of cherry tomatoes and 1 zucchini sliced into moons has appeared on the griddle. Is this because Johnny forgot that his camera's off when he dumped all that on there? Who knows, but it's here now. Then we got 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 cloves of garlic. I went pretty heavy-handed with the butter and garlic because there really isn't a sauce or anything, just the balsamic drizzle. So, season your chicken well and go heavy with the butter and garlic. Just think, if Paula Deen became a vampire, how would I kill her? With this. She couldn't resist the butter, and then the garlic would get her on the back end. Now we're mixing everything together. I really only had the tomatoes and zucchini on the griddle for, again, 3 to 4 minutes like the last zucchini cook. I like both of them to still have a little firmness to them. They can overcook fast in my opinion. Use the 2-in-1 thermometer from ThermoPro to double check the chicken is at 165. That's why I like this thermometer. You've seen me use it all video long. I like to use it for the surface temperature, and I can get the internal temperature of the meat. There's a link in the description if you want one. Give it a final toss. I know it looks weird, me using the scraper tool and a spatula, but I've been messing around with less accessories, and I always clean with the scraper tool. So I started using it as my second spatula as well. I haven't had any problems yet, and I'd recommend giving it a try if you also do not like doing dishes like me. Put this on the old white plate. hit it with the balsamic glaze. Now, this isn't a balsamic vinegar that's thin. This is a thicker glaze. It's syrupy and tangy. I also use this on my avocado toast when I want to feel like one of those fancy city girls who gets brunch on the weekend. Anyway, try this recipe. It's really good. This is not only the most popular chicken recipe on the Blackstone Griddle, but I'd say chicken fried rice is one of the top 3 most popular griddle recipes, period. Put down some oil, then cubed up chicken breast that I marinated in Bonchan's Japanese barbecue sauce, which tastes like teriyaki to me. Now, compared to the first recipe, you can see how they got darker because they were cooked in the sauce. Salt and pepper, and we're again 375 to 400. Once everyone is flipped over, we'll move the chicken out of the way and go with a decent amount of butter, then frozen peas and carrots. Also, I'm going to add my chopped garlic. After that's cooked, more butter going down. That's how you know it's a good recipe. Then my jasmine rice that I cooked the night before, spread out on a sheet tray, let it dry and kind of dry out in the fridge. Chop up my rice, then add the veggies and chicken on top. Now I'll make a well in the middle of the rice for, you guessed it, more butter. You're gosh darn right, there's more butter. We're making a delicious fried rice. I make the well also to contain my eggs, these scrambled eggs that I put in there. And after I pour them, I let them set up for like a minute or two and then get both spatulas going and start doing the old 2 spatula toss. Oh, buddy, now we're griddling. Then here comes some soy sauce, keep it mixing, and the slow motion 2 spatula toss. I've made it, Mom. I'm griddling on the internet with 2 spatulas in slow motion. Sesame oil is a finishing oil at the end, and this is a quick version. My full version of the chicken fried rice video is on your screen now. I go over all the ingredients and everything in more detail, so if you want to check that out, go for it. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a good one, and keep on griddling, friends.